Okay, welcome everyone to another session of Tauke Talks. So before we start, I would just like to inform everyone about the agenda for today's session. Right. So first of all, I'll just go through the overall guidelines once again to remind everybody the guidelines to follow in this session. All right. Then after the guidelines, we'll do a short introduction on what is Trio Ultimate and also who is Ben. Then after that, we'll move on to the sharing session where we will get to know more about Ben and his journey in entrepreneurship. And after that, we will move on to a Q&A session where we'll be answering all the questions that you might have. So if you have any, please leave it in the chat. And after that, we'll move on to a closing where we'll announce the next Tauke Talk session and also our ongoing program at the moment called RYSE Online 2021. So just a reminder, the guidelines are, please make sure you turn off your camera and also turn off your audio at all times since it will be a recorded session. And if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Ben, please do leave them in the chat. And also please use respectful language in the chat as you are communicating with one another. Yep. So without further ado, my name is Cindy and I'll be your host today. So welcome to Tauke Talks. Tauke Talks is a series of sharing session where small but mighty business owners share about their motivation to start their business and also the story behind their journey. So this sharing session is brought to you by RYSE, a Malaysian research and social outreach project that empowers youth through entrepreneurship, and RYSE is supported by Citi Foundation. So we believe that entrepreneurship is not only for the big startups, with high technology and high capital, but also for small and mighty business such as Trio Ultimate. So RYSE aims to showcase stories of small local businesses that are persevering and still chasing their dreams despite their circumstances. So I'm happy to welcome our guest for today, Ben from Trio Ultimate. Hi, Ben.
Hi, all. Hello.
Welcome to Tauke Talks, and we're honored to have you here today.
Thank you.
So before we go into the main part where we'll be talking about your journey and also how you started your business, could you briefly tell us about your business, Trio Ultimate? Like, how did you create the business? What kind of products do you offer? The services that you have, things like that.
Right. So Trio Ultimate started by a group of friends who we were in the sports of Ultimate Frisbee, and we were looking to make customized team jerseys for our team, right? And we realized that in Malaysia at that time, there was not many companies that did that. And also the overseas companies that did the customizing just for Ultimate specifically is very expensive. So we started looking into doing something that we like, and also because, I'm sure you guys gone to a store and saw a t-shirt that you like, but then it's like, oh, I like that, but if they remove that part, it'll be nicer and all that kind of stuff. So we decided to start our own brand by doing stuff that we like, and we know because we're in the scene, in the sports that we like. So we kind of know what people like, the feel of the fabric, what kind of features they like. So we thought, let's just do it. And it was, I think we started in end of 2012 and really shot in 2013 until now. So it's been quite a while.
Great. So can you explain a bit about the pictures that we're seeing on the slides? Maybe you can tell us a bit about what the story is,
Right.
Why you created.
Okay, so on the left-hand side where you have all these people smiling, they are actually a team from New Zealand, right? They're called Nomads. So these are the stuff that we do. Their jerseys are all fully customized by us. Sometimes clients will give us their concept or the color scheme that they want, or even they'll just sketch on paper and it's like, we want something like that. And then we will then try to come up with a digital mock-up for them. And then once it's approved and once everyone's happy, then we proceed into making customized jersey and shorts and whatnot for them. On the right-hand side, there are actually socks that we made as well. We make rainbow socks because we like colorful stuff, right? Like you want to work out looking, cheerful and fresh. So we thought, rainbow socks might add something to it. We were too cheap to get models. So that's actually my leg and a friend's leg. So, that's why we want to cut off the top half of our body, just show the socks.
You got to improvise with what you have.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So this picture on the left it's actually a new line that we were looking into at that time. This was, I think, early this year. Early this year, we thought of going into a casual line, a bit of a streetwear kind of series, because we originated from a sports kind of background and all that kind of stuff, right? So it was always sports, and then we thought, why don't we do something to hit the Chinese New Year market? Hence, you can see a bit of the mahjong shirt, which sold quite well as well. And then the right hand side is one of our bestseller item. It's our Vaporlight shorts. So they are lightweight short workouts. The shorts are for workouts, and people wear it for casual wear as well. So girl cutting, guy cutting, and then we have multiple colors as well. So I think the one thing you can say about Trio is our items are always very colorful. It's not your typical black or what. We have black, but we have like pink and salmon pink and beige and pastel colors and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we are maybe different in that sense.
Right, thank you for that. Yeah, so if you guys are interested to find out more about Trio Ultimate, or you're interested of purchasing one of their product, you can go and check them out via Facebook, Instagram, and their website. Ben has mentioned that if you would like to place an order, please do find them on Instagram or Facebook. They prefer social media orders as well. So if you're interested, please go and check them out. All right, thank you so much, Ben, for sharing about your business. Now we'll move on to your journey, your entrepreneurship journey. Why and what inspired you to actually start your own business? Like your background, like tell us a story of how you actually stumbled upon this business.
Right. So I actually graduated in environmental management. I major in sustainable development, right? So I strayed very far away from what I studied. But it's my interest and passion in sports and the outdoors since young that got me going. Like, I want to do stuff that I want to use and I want to wear, and at an affordable price, because some of the stuff out there is just ridiculously priced, especially once I'm in this industry now. We kind of figure out how much things would cost to make and then how much they are actually selling in the market. So I'm like, whoa, hang on, this is insane, right? So we thought, why don't we do stuff that we like and at affordable price and all that kind of stuff. So that's how we got into this whole scene. And then plus, sports kind of like has been in my family since young. And I thought that, why don't I, since I'm spending so much time, playing sports, why don't I just spend some time wearing the stuff that I like, that I made, and then share it with other people as well.
Thank you so much for sharing with that. So it's your love for sports that pushed this whole entire business.
It's the mentality, sports mentality as well, that helps with running this business.
Right. Yeah. It's also so true that sports gear are super priced very high, and sometimes like if you're like someone new to sports, you're like, I cannot afford all this.
No way. Like some of the big brands out there, like the thinner and lighter the material is, the way more expensive it gets. And sometimes when you actually know what it takes, some of it I agree, they are expensive because the research has gone down. Some of it is just a plain simple cloth that's stitched together, and it's like, oh my goodness, so expensive.
Right. Okay, good. All right. So now we move on to understanding already about how you started your business. Can you share a little bit about what were the challenges when you first started, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Okay, fun fact, I don't even know how to sew a button myself. Okay, but when we started, we thought it would be a simple, take the order, give it to a manufacturer, take the finished product, give it to the client, and take the money. We thought it would be something like that. We thought we want to be like the middleman, that kind of stuff. But we realized that we can't control the quality and all that kind of stuff. We can't control the timeline, we can't control the quality, we can't control anything. It's basically we wait for the guy to give us the finished product, and then we give it off. So we realized that is a big problem there, and then we started looking around for people that could jump on board and join us, and we eventually found who's now our partner, our factory manager, like you call it. He runs our factory in Indonesia, and we get to control everything from down to the colored thread that we want to use, to if you want a long sleeve on one side and a short sleeve to the other side, you know, we can do that as well, because we control everything from the start to the end product. A lot of other challenges, as into there are times that things are out of control. When things get stuck in customs, you need to meet a timeline, but you know the customs didn't release it, and then you actually have to drive up and then go into the warehouse and find your own stuff and talk to the customs officer and deal with them yourself and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of bumps on the road, and we've done some business where we actually lost some money, but in the end of the day, we felt that honoring that order by the customer is more important than making sure that every order makes money, that kind of stuff, right? So at least that gives them confidence to come back to us, knowing that we prioritize them over profit first. There were days that, you know, my guy was supposed to fly in from the factory. We bought his air ticket to fly direct because we didn't want to deal with the customs, so we just brought him directly through flight. But the storm was so bad at the factory there, trees fallen and all that kind of stuff. He missed his flight. We had to buy him a second flight. All the stuff that he was carrying got wet, so when it arrived, we have to, you know, start drying shirts and jerseys all over the office to make sure that they are ready for like a 10 a.m. photo shoot by some national team here and all that kind of stuff. There's so many stories on this kind of stuff. Yeah,
unexpected things to happen.
Very. Some things are in your control, some things not within your control. So
right. Okay. So you share a bit about like how you do like national teams, right? You spot like you close national teams. You talk about earlier when we were talking about how you go to events. How did you actually build that kind of relationship when you first started your business, like getting contacts and getting customers in? Did you face any challenges?
Oh yeah, definitely. So as you guys know now, like there's a lot of local manufacturers that does customized sportswear and like even for office wear and stuff. It helps a lot, especially when we are in the scene. And we are still actively playing in the scene, and we play for a club that's also quite active in the scene. So our name kind of like grows from there, and it helps that I've attended a few international tournaments here and then. You make friends. And it's just word of mouth that started, you know, spreading. And when people say, hey, Ben, you know, I've got this team that wants to do whatever X jersey or shorts or caps. Do you want to, you know, get involved? And I said, yeah. And from there, I guess, because they like our products, then word started spreading. And then now we've got like base customers from Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, Brunei, and they almost come back to us almost every tournament, and then like they will always look forward for new items from us. So I guess word of mouth helped a lot, and staying active in the scene as well helps a lot.
Right. Interesting. So you really understood the industry you were going in, and you are in that field, right?
Correct.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing about that. Now we've learned a bit about, you know, the earlier challenges you faced, and I'm pretty sure there were also a lot of challenges during the pandemic. Could you share a bit about those challenges, and also how did you adapt, since you said that, you know, your factory's in Indonesia and you're based in Malaysia?
Right. So there's always an annual event that we're involved in, usually called the Malaysia Ultimate Open. It's one of the biggest ultimate tournament that's held in Malaysia, and we have like I think 32 teams from all over the world. You're looking at about 700-800 people that comes to Putrajaya every year for that tournament, and we always use that event as our platform to launch new products, and that's like our, how do you say, like how Apple announced their new items every year, so that we kind of like try to model something like that. But 2020 didn't happen for us, right? So that was a bummer. So we tried when the country locked down, globally locked down, there's nothing that we can do about it. We tried to prep a lot of stuff that was supposed to be launched for 2020. So we still tried to do some R&D so that, because we didn't know when this was going to end. We still don't know when this is going to end, right? So at that time, we were still looking into doing R&D. We had new stuff that's in the pipeline. And when I think 3 months, 5 months, 6 months passed, we're like, all right, we're pouring too much money and we don't know when this is going to end. So KIV everything first. And we were still, our normal products, the Vaporite shorts, the jerseys, the caps, the bucket hats, the socks, everything was still selling. Of course, not as fast, but people were still consuming our products and still buying here and there. But as the pandemic dragged, the buying power kind of reduces as well. So my wife and I didn't take any income for almost the entire 2020. We just had to slowly see how we can generate some sort of income to sustain at least the factory or even the overhead kind of stuff. Then by end of 2020, when things got better, Malaysia kind of eased up a bit, Singapore, Brunei, Australia, New Zealand, and that's where orders started coming back in again for us. Slowly but surely it was coming. That helped a bit. Then 2021 came, and then second wave for some country, third wave for some country hit, then it shut down again. And that's where we said, okay, we need to try a different direction. Let's not look into sports. We thought, why don't we try the casual streetwear direction? So we started doing cotton tees and stuff like that, and that picked up really, really well. We came up. It was so good that we got a new batch that just came in again, and then that one is going to be sent out later. But we are also looking into shifting our stuff online, stuff like maybe start a Shopee or Lazada kind of platform for our brand. We didn't need to last time because there were so many tournaments around Malaysia or even other countries where we attend as well and sell our stuff. So we never actually even had walk-in customers because we never needed them. We didn't need customers to walk in because customers just goes to tournament and gets our stuff every time. But now obviously we don't want people to walk into the office now, and we have no tournaments to go to. So we're looking into setting up an online platform to just sell it there as well. But as of right now, people who are familiar with the brand or familiar with me will either text me personally or text us on like Instagram and whatnot to just say, hey, what's new? I want to buy some stuff, and then we just go from there.
Right. Thank you for sharing for that. So now with that, the uncertainty, because you mentioned about you want to grow into more online platform, right? And with the uncertainty now still caused by the pandemic, are you planning to continue to maintain your business or grow your business in a sense?
Growing the business would be tough as of now. Maintaining it definitely, because it's something that we've literally poured so much blood, sweat, and tears into it. It's so many hours have been poured into this little business of ours, and we're so proud of where it is today. I can still remember that one time where we actually felt super happy on the small little wins. Was our brand was not very old at the time, but a team from the United States wanted to make their jersey, and then they emailed us and said they are looking into several brands, and then some of the brands that they mentioned were already well established, right? And it was funny because our brand was in that list of established brands that they came out with. So we're like, whoa, we are considered to be a fairly good brand. So I don't think we won't end it, definitely, but we will try to pivot it. We're definitely looking to pivot it. I actually have a 10-day-old son, and we may or may not come up with a toddler line and we'll see how that goes. So that is something in our next pipeline as well.
That's really exciting for those parents who are into sports. They would like to have like a matching jersey.
Yeah,
with their child.
exactly. So we're looking into that because some of the baby stuff out there is also very expensive for so little bit of cloth, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking into that and see, I know we have a few friends who have, just became parents as well. So maybe we can talk to them and see what are the things they like or don't like that's in the market, and then we can get some research going on and maybe start a new line from there.
Right. That's so interesting to hear that how your personal life as an entrepreneur actually kind of translate and influence your life as in your business, right?
Yeah, it helps. It helps a lot. It's not it's not a job anymore. It's something fun.
Yeah.
That pays the bills.
Yeah, fun but pays the bill. Okay, interesting. All right, now we'll move on to the next question I have for you, which is, what would you say is your business proudest achievement to date?
Business proudest achievement to date.
Yeah, if you could name one
proudest
achievement.
This is a tough question. I would say this is tough. I would say that when people rush to our booth to snatch up some of the items because they are so afraid that it will be sold out, because we have people who buys like, so for example, we make 20 pieces of this design for a cap, and then we have many times where people come, all right, I want all 20, and then they just sapu the whole thing. And then the other people who walk by and then they actually saw it earlier, it's like, I'll come back for that. And then when they came back, it's like, finished, then everyone's like, oh no, what happened? I was like, oh, a team just bought the whole thing. So it became like everyone started rushing. So maybe you call that a proudest moment, or maybe that's just not very nice of us to make so few pieces.
Right. So is there a way that you actually promoted before you guys go to a tournament, like saying that, oh, we're going to open a booth, there's only going to be limited? Or is it just that because everybody know that it's only going to be a limited amount, so everybody rush to the booth?
Yes and no, depending. So because we're in the scene, so we kind of know who's coming, who's not coming, and they know, we would know which crowd is coming and what's the buying power for this crowd and the buying power for the people that's coming for this tournament. So we kind of know what to bring, what not to bring, and what is the target audience and what item they would prefer more. So sometimes when we have new stuff, you make an announcement and then they're like, okay, we have this coming and then we'll be at this tournament, see you there. Then those who can't attend the tournament will ask their friends to buy, and then you see a lot of them will be like, ini yun nata, they will be like on the FaceTiming with them and just pointing them out because, like their personal shopper kind of stuff. So maybe that's one of the proudest moments for my business as well.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Like your product is actually really, really in high demand.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Our product is fun, I would say.
Right. I think the colors really help as well, because it's very rare to see like sports gear with like super huge range of colors, right?
And it's not for everyone sometimes. And I understand some of the items that is like super out there, I personally would never wear it, but other people just sapu the things straight away.
Yeah, right. Okay, thank you for sharing about that. Now, if we know about your proudest achievement, now we want to understand a bit about who actually give you inspiration or give you the motivation to go on. Can you name one entrepreneur whom you admire, and tell us a bit more about why and how they've inspired you?
I don't think there's one particular one that is like, so if I have to say anything, it's probably my dad, right? My dad, when we were growing up, my sister and I hardly see my dad on the weekdays because he'll leave the house so early in the morning, and he'll come back like late at night after dropping all the stuff. He used to work as in a landscape company before he had his own company and all that. So he would have to wake up early in the morning, pick up the workers, work whole day, and then he'll come back probably like 8:30, 9 after dropping the workers. And then my sister and I will probably see him for probably half an hour. And then we have to go up to our room to either finish homework or whatnot, right? So only the weekends we get to see him. And even then, if he's rushing a project, then we probably won't get to see him. But, just seeing how much effort and work and dedication he puts into everything that he does, probably that's one of that thing that I picked up from him, where if you're doing something that you like, it's not a job, it's a hobby, it's a fun thing. And and also I think him being a sportsman and from sports background, and me being from a sports background since young, I think that mindset also kind of helps with running a business, because you always want to challenge yourself, and you want to be better every time. When you lose, you want to get better so you don't lose again, that kind of stuff. So I think that mindset kind of also helps running your own business. You take it as a game, as a not a game, but a match that you want to win.
Yeah.
And then you challenge yourself and try to beat that challenge. So all the ups and downs and bumps that we've gone through, I feel that it's okay. You're definitely not going to win every single time, but when you lose, like, how do you bounce back and what do you learn from losing? I think that's that sports background, and then my dad, teaching us all that kind of stuff since young, that kind of translates into running your own business as well.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing on that. All right. So that is the biggest inspiration. All right. So
he's a big guy.
Yeah.
In my life, yeah.
That's good to hear. All right. So the last question I have for you before we go into the Q&A session. I know the audience is waiting for the answer to be the question to be answered soon.
Yeah, I see a lot of chats popping up.
Yeah. My last question for you is: do you think young people should start their own business, and why?
I think young people should start their business, even if it's selling popsicles and whatnot. I kind of sort of started my own business. I wouldn't call it a business, but it builds character. It builds character. You need to know money is not everything, right? If you're doing it for money, then you may stray off a different path. But if you're doing it because you like, and you somehow can find a way to generate some sort of income, then it definitely will teach you a lot of things. Like, you don't give up easily, because you build something with so much hard work and effort. If you give up, then you're just going to waste all that effort, right? I think there's a lot of, especially now, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs out there that's waiting and finding an opportunity. There's always something that you have that people would want, right? You just need to know what it is and find out what it is. When I was young, I had to wash the car. I don't know how clean the car was. I have to cut the grass. I have to, your old newspaper, the whole stack that you have to put it somewhere. So then when the newspaper, the Sao Kao Pochi people come, then you sell it to them. So I had to do that to earn my pocket money. So that's probably my business when I was growing up. But it kind of builds discipline, builds character. It helps you understand, planning, all that kind of stuff. So starting your own business is definitely something I would encourage all the young people to do.
Great, thank you for sharing about that. So all the young people out there, listen to the wise word of Ben.
I'm not that old.
Yeah, he's a new father, so he's not that old, guys.
Not at all.
Yeah. All right, so now we'll move on. Thank you so much for sharing about your journey. And now we'll move on to the Q&A session, where we'll be answering the audience's question, right? So the first question we have here is, do you personally sue yourself to do R&D, and how is the design process like for an item?
So you have to spend money to do R&D. It's not something you can take a picture. It depends on what you're doing, but it's not something you can snap a picture and then just say, hey, I want something like that, right? You actually have to know the function of a specific feature, why they do, how it's done. So like for a bag, that we were selling. It's called the BFF. It's actually stand for Bag for Frisbee, but a lot of people call it like best friends forever or whatnot. But that's fine, whatever you want to call it. We actually spent almost a year looking into different aspects from different bags. So we actually bought different bags from different brands, and then like it's so that my guys and us, I can explain to them and they can personally feel. For example, like a zip, like you want a zip to be smooth, but you don't want a zip to be where you have to hold it and then you have to yank it the other side just to open. Like a laptop where you can open it with one hand, those kind of small little things. So we had all those kind of things into our bag. And a lot of people, because we are outdoor, our brand and our sports, it's mainly outdoors, and then there's always rain, okay? And you're looking into making bags. Obviously, people want it to be waterproof, but when you have a waterproof item, then because the lining and all that comes into play, and then when you do stitching, you puncture the fabric. So we had to think of ways to make the bag water resistant, and then also provide that same kind of like features that we want without affecting the zip and the fabric. So we thought, why don't we extend the flap over the zipper and then give a waterproof cover straight away, and then that solves the problem rather than making the whole bag itself waterproof. So it's stuff like that you need to we spend time and trial and error, and then a lot of our teammates or friends or whoever gets our samples, and then we just let them use it, and then we get feedbacks from them. So that helps as well.
Okay, so this question also came with the second part, which is, can you tell a bit about how the design process is like for an item?
Design process. So we have two things. One is we design for clients. So again, I think I mentioned earlier was based on what they want, the concept, the design, color scheme, and all that. So they can give us either pictures that they find online and say, we want something like that, but then we want to change stuff like that. That's one. Two is our merchandise that we sell under our brand. Those come from maybe a lot of like browsing through the internet, and then we see something that we like, and then we want to adapt that. Or my wife and I don't even, when we go to the shopping mall last time, we don't even shop. We just go into like sports boutique and stuff, and we see what's the new stuff out there, what's design, what colors, what design, and then we will learn and adapt and modify some stuff, and then that's where we get our inspiration for some of our items.
Right. Thank you for sharing about that. It sounds like you have a lot of research that goes into all this.
Yeah, it's fun because, like I said, you're creating something that you like, and then when you finally see the physical item and then it works how you want it to work, it's fun. It's the best.
Great. So the next question from the audience here is, this is regarding business partners. Do you have any advice about choosing business partners and how to protect your business from potentially bad partners?
Okay, so choosing business partner is very important, right? You need to know that what is that business partner going to bring to the table, right? I generally do not advise going into business with friends, but that does not apply to everyone, because when it comes to money, some things can be quite sensitive, unless everything is laid out and then you have a very, very clear and open communication with that person, then I guess that would be okay to choose your friend as a business partner. But if you're going into a business with a friend because, hey, I love hanging out with you, we should do stuff, then, you need to think again, And if you are choosing a business partner because the person is contributing financially, and you don't have that financial startup that you have, and then he can bring that support in, then you need to understand his relation to the business, because will this business that your partner will it be his main business or his side income? If this is my main business and that is his side, and it is his side business, he probably won't point as much effort as I will. Then the responsibility will be different, expectations will be different, and then if you think that, oh, he's a business partner, he should be responsible and doing, you know, just as much or whatnot, then that's where conflict will start happening and it will be ugly. So I think it needs to be clear what this business partner is going to bring to the table, what their strength is, what their direction is, what their contribution is going to be. And down the line, let's just say he's not needed anymore, or he doesn't carry his own weight anymore. How are y'all going to split, and all that kind of stuff comes into question. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I think that's a really good tip for those who are looking into, you know, possibly getting a friend as a business partner as well. Great. So the next question, the final question we have in the audience here is, what is your work background prior to this? Are you doing this full time? And what advice would you give for someone who is considering to run their business full time?
Yes, I'm running this full time. I've been running it full time since 2012. Actually, no, prior to that. So I was working in a property development company prior to this, and then I was working in the Philippines for a while. Then when I came back, I was helping out with some family stuff for about half a year, and that's when we looked into starting this business, and then I went full time from there. My wife prior to this was a medical rep, and she was helping out as well. Then when this business picked up, she realized that, okay, it's not going to pay as much as a medical rep, but she got way more satisfaction from this. So she left that job, and now both of us are full-time on this one. For those who are looking into starting a business and doing it full-time, I think I read somewhere recently, which I think I want to share with you guys, is that there are people who say that, well, you know, it's great that you quit your stable job to work full-time on pursuing your dream or your hobby or whatnot. That's great, but I don't think that line is applicable to everyone. Like, I got to do this because I'm lucky enough that, you know, my family, you know, financially and everything, we are okay. They're supportive of me. No one is particularly relying on me financially to you know, put food on the table, that kind of stuff, except, you know, just myself and my wife and now my kid. But if you have your family that requires you to be, if you're the sole breadwinner for the family, I think it won't be that easy to go full-time on pursuing something that is not concrete yet. So I think it applies to people who have a good support system and a comfortable, steady flow of income first before you jump into something full-time. Because if you're going to leave your full-time, good-paying job to pursue something, and then if it doesn't work out, you need to ask yourself, you know, those people who are relying on you, are they going to be okay? So there's two ways to think of it, you know. So I guess it doesn't apply to everyone on whether running it full time or not. You have to look into your background, whether you're okay doing it.
Thank you so much for sharing on that and answering the last question that we have. So everybody, that was Ben from Trio Ultimate, sharing his experience at Tauke Talks, brought to you by RYSE and supported by Citi Foundation. So if you're interested to find out more about Trio Ultimate, or if you're interested on buying a product that they might have, please go and check them out on their social media, in their Facebook, Instagram, or even their website as well. Right. So what really stood out for me during this whole talk was Ben's attitude towards failure, right? And how he saw this as his business as a challenge, and that mindset of always trying to be better is really, really admiring for me as personally. And also, I hope that everybody will also take back his word of doing what you love and finding a passion in whatever that you do, so that it won't feel like a dreading job, but something that is fulfilling for you as well. So I hope everyone learned a lot today from Ben. And if you're interested to find out more about Tauke Talks, or if you're interested on our next Tauke Talks session, we're having a next one with Mars from Sangan & Co. So this business is based in Sarawak, and their purpose is to show the beauty of Sarawak through jewelry and handcrafted jewelry as well. So if you're interested, you can go and register via the bit.ly below at Tauke Sangan Co. And if you're interested after Ben's session that you'd like to start your business or want to find out more about entrepreneurship, you can go and register for our current entrepreneurship program called RYSE Online 2021. So it's a free online course on the basics of entrepreneurship, open now up till the 30th of July. And if you're interested to find out more, you can go and register via the bit.ly below, bit.ly/RYSE Online 2021. And if you are a participant of RYSE Online 2021, we are currently having a video competition that you can join to win cash prize of up to 600 ringgit as well. All right, so if you're interested to find out more about what we do at RYSE and what Tauke Talks is about, you can always go to our social media to find out more about us. You can message us as well on social media to get more information regarding all our programs at the Facebook, Instagram, or even our YouTube. And thank you so much, Ben, for being a part of Tauke Talks today. We had fun talking to you.
Thank you. Just a quick note, right? So our website is actually under construction. It will remain under construction for a while until we get back into our normal routine, once the little boy of mine, doesn't keep us up all night. But in the meantime, if you guys want to, just ask me further questions or find out some stuff, you can either text me on Facebook or Instagram and I'll reply there.
All right, so that's it. So find out more about them through Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, do DM them if you have any question.
Yeah,
all right,
no
thank
problem.
you everyone for coming today. Thank you, Ben, for being a part of this.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks.
everyone.
Bye.